Man, Daniel, I gotta say, I don't know which I prefer more, the AI voice here or the AI voice on K-pop times 2. I gotta say, these always get me every week.
Gotta love the AI, right?
Well, as you guys know, you are listening to 한국어 천재 on TBS EFM 101.3. And it is Thursday, which means I bring Daniel all the way over to the studio here to share his knowledge on these advanced level Korean expressions. And last week, as you all know, it was Chuseok-related terminology.
It sure was, and I had myself a very merry Chuseok. So.
Oh, I am so glad to hear that, actually. I was going to ask you did you eat a lot of the traditional foods and things?
I did. I had some songpyeon.
Oh, yeah.
Some 햇살 as well.
Oh,
so good
nice.
stuff. Yeah.
I had a tofu burrito, so...
Ooh, that sounds interesting. Fusion.
Very traditional in Chuseok for me. But we had covered some words, and it's funny that this is actually our topic from last week because I actually had one of these words come up in conversation.
Which one?
So we actually ended up talking about kamasaum.
In what kind of context?
In the context that, we were talking about obscure things, like Korean, cultural references.
Trivia.
Yeah, trivia, you could say. And they were try to stump the Korean was basically the game. And I was like, I got this in the bag. And so I basically was like, please explain kamasaum. And can you explain for everyone what that was?
Sure. A chariot or palanquin fight, as it were, right? So, and the winning team is reported or supposed to go on to pass the old 과거 or the old 공무원 시험, right?
You guys, I can just tell you right now, I won trivia. So
congrats.
Stumped the Korean friends there with that one. But, we had a bunch of other terminology as well that came in. We did explain different names for Chuseok, Chuseok being the most common. But we also covered 한가위.
Yes, that's a good one.
That was a big one that we covered. And we also covered some games that we talked about there. What was a couple of those?
Well, there's 강강술래. So
강강술래.
Ladies dancing in the moonlight. And then there's also 씨름, Korean traditional wrestling.
That's very cool. Highly recommend anyone getting a chance to watch that to check it out. It's really fun to watch. But this week we're kind of heading back over to the land of the Itaeo, which I always enjoy because they're just so much fun to sound out and pronounce. I feel like we just enjoy teaching these things.
Agreed. I like saying them. Right?
Yeah. So what's our topic going to be for today?
Well, today I want to focus on a range of different 의태어s that we can use when describing behavior or how someone acts in general. So, yeah.
Perfect. So things like 행동 or 매너 or things like that. Just kind of trying to describe your motions a little better here.
Exactly. And if you're an English speaker, I'd say they're probably similar to adverbs in English, right?
That's the closest we're going to get because mimetic words, not really in English. So this will be as close as you get to them. But this first one here, I actually have never heard it before. So this was a new one for me.
Yes, this is a somewhat formal one. So number one, here we go. So 부장님 말씀 고분고분 잘 듣도록 해.
고분. I honestly can't even guess for the life of me what that means. 고분. But I know that 잘 듣도록 해. You're listening to what your 부장님 says. 부장님 is obviously a higher person up.
The
and
director.
You're doing, as he says, listen well to what he's saying here. So I'm assuming it's along that lines of formality of following the rules.
And you're absolutely right. To listen obediently, to listen willingly. Listen carefully.
Like you're really focused in on that and you're going to do exactly as he says.
Exactly.
Easy peasy, guys. That is 고분 there. So nice and soft. Now this next one here, this one's quite fun to, I would say it's not my most commonly used, but it's a good one to know for the situation.
It sure is, especially, so we're still in the office here. So after you listen to your 부장님. So here we go. So 김 대리는 아부가 심해. 과장님만 보면 늘 굽실거려.
Okay, so again, we have these terms of different 호칭어, different titles. We had the 부장 before. Now we have the 대리님, I'm guessing here.
And
Kim
과장님 too. So assistant manager and manager. Right?
All these people here. But it says the 과장님만 보면 늘 굽실거려. 굽실거려. What on earth does that mean?
So to try and get someone's favor or be on their good side. There are a few other choice words that I can't say on radio. So.
I get what you're saying. There's a specific term we use in English that I'm not allowed to say on air. If it's the most accurate that we use, though.
Exactly.
So I would say brown nosing.
Absolutely.
Or kind of, we can say this one, sucking up to someone is okay. You're kind of come closing on, shimmying on up there and trying to get their favor.
I want to be on your good side. Exactly. And the other one was abu, which is also sometimes said abu abu, right? So
Abu abu. That's so cute. Abu abu. It's quite fun. Now, this next one, I have to say, I use this a ton. This is a very useful word to know.
Agreed. So yeah, we're leaving the office here. So in almost any situation, you can say 참 완전 깜빡했다.
Now, before we even get into the 의태어 itself here, I want to mention about this 참. 참 is a very commonly used term in Korean as well. Is there? I'm throwing this at Daniel totally off the cliff here, but like, what would you say? How would we describe 참 to a non-native speaker? It's
Interjection.
Yeah.
I hope that's the right word.
Yeah, like an exclamatory
Exactly.
interjection sort of thing. 참. Like you can hear a lot of people using this. So here 참 완전 깜빡했다. 깜빡했다 is basically forgetting something.
Totally slipped my mind.
Yeah.
Totally forgot.
And that's the thing because there is oh, thank you, Team Dung. Actually, 참 here, he gave me a nice little memo here. It's kind of like the by the way sort of thing, like
Very
a
good
BT
one.
dubs, I guess. You're the best. Thank you so much. But this 깜빡했다, I want to make sure we point out for people because if you look up to forget in the dictionary, you're going to usually see like 잊어버렸다.
Exactly.
Or you're going to see 까먹었다.
A more mundane way
but
to phrase it. Right?
깜빡했다 is kind of just like that sudden, like, oh my God, I totally spaced. Like, I totally blanked.
That's a great idiom. Spaced out, right?
Yeah,
So,
I just completely blanked. Totally sorry. Whereas I feel like 잊어버렸다 or like, it's kind of that feeling like this happened a long time. It was like a process of being forgotten.
and a more formal register too.
Yeah, exactly. And definitely more formal here. Now, Kim Shiun just sent him in a message that I just got. It says, 고분 급신 같은 거 들으니까 딸랑딸랑도 생각나네요. 부장님 최고예요. 딸랑딸랑. Wait,
adorable.
I don't know what 딸랑딸랑 is. This is a new one for me. 딸랑딸랑 무슨 뜻인가요?
I'm not sure myself. That's a good one. I don't want to give you guys the wrong info
Wait,
here.
Oh, it's the sound of a bell ringing.
Makes sense here. Right.
Oh, that's so cute. 딸랑딸랑.
Remember the bell,
Remember
right?
this bell? Oh my gosh. Like, oh, 부장님, you're the best. 딸랑딸랑. Ring the bell. That is so cute. Oh, but Team Tung here is telling me that kind of bell is giving the meaning of like being almost a slave.
Oh, double-handed remark.
Kind of like ringing the bell like a
Come
little
here,
maid.
worker, right?
Like a little maid here. I thought it was kind of a nice kind of meaning here. Like, oh my God, 부장님, you're the best. But no, it's more of like 부장님 says come. You come, get over here. And
이야기 좀 합시다.
so that 고분, 굽신. 딸랑딸랑. Oh my God, 딸랑딸랑 is my new favorite thing here.
That's
I love
a great
this.
one. And just, a sentence full of 의태어 there. That
was
great.
an 의태어 like 폭탄 right there. That was huge. But we do have some more here. This next one, so we've gotten the forgotten one now. Now we're moving on to kind of a different scenario. What is this?
So this is to describe some actions here. So the first one we have is 산길에서 넘어져 대굴대굴 굴러 떨어졌어.
Okay, so that 대굴. I love watching my mouth when I say that 대굴.
Round, that round shape. Exactly,
Get that round,
right?
ooh. But you can sort of feel it if you guys like just take a moment to think. 대굴 그 굴러 떨어졌어요. 떨어지다 is kind of like something's dropped
To
or
fall,
fall down. Yeah. And so here, you kind of fell down. 넘어지다 is like a person kind of falling down,
Exactly.
whereas 떨어지다 is more like objects kind of tip over, fall
Exactly.
over, fall down.
To trip over versus to fall.
Fall,
right? So,
yeah. And so here this 대굴, you fell and now you're 대굴ring. So you can kind of picture it in your head, this rolling motion.
Exactly. Falling as you roll or rolling as you fall.
Yeah, it's a very kind of visual sound once you put it in context. I feel like you can sort of feel that motion of 대굴.
And where are you falling? On the 산길. So be careful while you're up on that 산길.
Yes.
There, a mountain path. Right?
Yeah,
So
speaking of, I was on a sankir this morning.
Careful out there,
Yeah,
right?
I thankfully did not 대굴 down the sankir. So.
Not the way you want to come down.
No,
right?
definitely not. Now, this next one here, I would say I have heard this a couple times as well. What is this next one?
Oh, this is a good one. You'll see this all over town. So 전통시장에서 이번 주만 반짝 세일을 한대.
Oh, so we've got the sale here. Is that the actual sale in English?
Yes, it is. So 할인 판매.
Nice.
If we didn't want to use the word sale, right? So,
We have a lot of times you'll just see sale written all over in Korean, but that 반짝 sale, what on earth does that mean?
Okay, so doesn't it just listening to that, it sounds very like it spikes your interest. It's very sudden, right?
Yeah.
And it means to a surprise or sudden or kind of instantaneous, spontaneous sale.
And see, it's very interesting because you'll see 반짝, like if you put 반짝, that's more of like a sparkling, twinkling sort of
glittery
thing.
kind of vibe,
glittery thing. So here, 반짝 sale is kind of like those flash sales, those sudden sales. That's
Perfect,
just kind of
yeah.
like, whack, we got a flash sale today, get in here. And it's that kind of feeling of that suddenness, I think.
Exactly, right. So.
And this next one, what is this?
Oh, this is a good one. So, we're moving from feeling very sudden to feling a little bit scared. So here we go.
Yeah.
공포 영화가 무서워서 덜덜 떨었다. Oh, sorry, 벌벌 떨었다.
벌벌 떨었다. This one is, I love this. Because they're actually, what you said too here, that 덜덜, I use that like for like the trembling kind of shivering sort of feeling. But 벌벌 is what, like a tremble?
Tremble out of fear?
Out of fear.
Yeah, not out of cold, yeah.
And whereas 덜덜 is like more related to a weather, like a
temperature,
cool sort of thing here. So I love that in this one here, the 공포 영화 is talking about horror movies here, scary movies.
And I've heard like horror 영화 a lot as well.
Yeah,
these days,
me
right?
too.
Yeah.
You'll see English just slipping in there all the time. Oh, I love when our team Jung here just put up another little fun one. You will often see, especially in text messaging, people type the hiut digut digut, and it's basically that 후다달, that 후다달. I love that. I actually have a little emoticon that's of a little cat, and it's going dar 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 dar, and he just shakes around and shouts dar all the time. It's really cute. But this one here is just that kind of trembling with fear. You could, because you're scared of something, right?
Turn off the TV if that happens, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. It's the best thing to do.
Close your eyes, right?
Either that or whenever I'm scared or I watch a scary movie, I always will follow up with either a cartoon or I'll watch I can't say it on air, can I? I'll watch some like comedy show.
Good idea.
Or some
classic
sitcom.
Comedy.
Yeah, something that will just take my mind off of it completely and then I can sleep. I'm a baby.
As long as it works, sure. So
what's this next one here?
Oh, this is a good one too. So, 아기가 자고 있어서 안방에 살금살금 들어갔다.
Oh, can you guys feel that? So, okay, give you some context here. The baby is sleeping, or the kid, 아기가 자고 있어서, because they're sleeping right now, they're sleeping. 안방에 살금살금 들어갔다. So you can just kind of picture that 살금, like it's that tiptoeing
very quietly, very delicately.
Yeah. And I feel like, we often will hear about things being done gently, like 살살하게. And I feel like it's that similar feeling of like the 살금, like this tiptoe. It's like a gentle kind of walking feeling going in there. Oh, I love that one. That one's a really good one.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. I should also mention 안방 here would be the master bedroom too.
So 안방.
The inner room, right?
So the baby's sleeping in the master bed. Must be a pretty young baby then there.
Most likely, right?
Or a very big master bedroom. We don't know.
And a very happy baby, right?
Exactly. Now, speaking of like gently doing something softly or something, what's this next one here?
Oh, this is nice. So 봄바람이 솔솔 불러 아주 시원하네.
Oh, so that 솔솔 불어. Oh gosh, it's just so nice, so gentle, just softly, kind of that breeze there.
A spring breeze.
I love it. You can just picture it like a nice little gentle caress on your face there. But so we've got 솔솔 here. Now this next one is a completely different feeling in my mouth when I say it. We have 솔솔, and then now we have
much sharper.
싹싹. What is that?
Okay, so I'll read it. Let's see if we can figure it out. So 남기지 말고 싹싹 먹어야지.
Oh boy. Okay, so 남기지 말고 싹싹 먹어야지. So you guys know 먹다 here is to eat something here. So 싹싹 먹어야지. It's kind of like that. Let go. Let's go.
Clean it up.
Wrap it up.
To the
Time
last
to go.
grain.
Get it.
No
Get it
crumbs.
all there. Get everything cleaned off. I want that thing. My mom would always say the clean plate club.
Oh, that's a good one. Right.
Yeah,
So-
she was like, make sure you join the clean plate club. If you are not in the clean plate club, you don't leave the table. So
Ouch. Right. So, tough love, right? So,
right, exactly here. So here that 싹싹 먹어야지. I'm gonna translate as in join that clean plate club there.
That's awesome. Right.
But this last one here, I will say, is my favorite Uiteo of all Uiteos that I know.
I
in
remember
my
you mentioning that a while
Yes,
ago. Right?
This
It's
is
a
my
good one.
favorite one of all of them. I just absolutely adore it. What is it?
So we're talking about a young kid here. So 우리 조카의 아장아장 걷는 모습 너무 귀엽네.
아장아장 걷는 모습 너무 귀엽네. I love it, you guys. Can you just picture? Okay, we're talking about a baby.
We sure are.
Specifically their niece or nephew. And the 걷는 모습 is like how you look when you're walking, right?
Exactly.
That's what we would say, because 모습 is
Toddling
like,
around.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, it's so cute. And that's where what is the cute part here is this ajang style. And how would you describe that?
To toddle or to shake from side to side, I guess. Yeah.
Guys,
not too steady, right?
I love it. Can you just picture like that little like toddling little, oh gosh, it's my favorite uiteo. I love it so much. So I hope you guys found these uiteos very helpful. Certainly very many useful ones. I highly recommend remembering the ajang or things like 깜빡했다. Very useful language, right?
Absolutely. 반짝 is another one.
반짝 as well, yes. But as you know, I always like to give Daniel his time in the spotlight. So let's take a listen to our movie clip.
그러게 잘하지 그랬어. 아니면 잘 좀 태어나든가.
Ooh,
harsh words.
Yeah, this is a little harsh moment here. So what is this saying, first of all, that first line?
Okay, so 잘하지 그랬어. Why you should have or why didn't you, kind of. Yeah, kind of a rhetorical question here.
Yeah, and then what's that second part they're saying?
Ooh, this is tough to hear too. So 잘 좀 태어나든가. Couldn't you have been born in a higher station? Or
Ooh, that's some harsh words here that we're talking about.
why were you born you, kind of?
Yeah, like why are you? Like, why is that there? And I feel like if we wanted to break this down for you guys, like the first one here is like, 그러게 잘 좀 하지. Like this, so like it's like you should have done this better. Like you should have done a better job. And so
Complaining, yeah.
it's not a kind language here
No.
for it. But I was wondering if you could break down for our listeners here. We have that term, the like the 든가, like the 하든가, the 태어나든가. Like you'll hear that, and it's often talking like what would you say the difference between that and just like 하던 would be?
Okay, so it's only one difference in vowels here, but very different meanings. So
Yeah.
for dun, I would say it's yet A or B or yes or no usually.
Yeah.
So for one example would be 이걸 하든 저걸 하든, do this, do that.
Yeah, and then that 던 then what would
So
that
this
be?
indicates that something took place in the past. So for example, 내가 마시던 커피, 내가 먹던 김밥. The kimbap that I ate. So it's used in, I guess, a noun phrase.
Okay, so that's like it happened in the past and I did this action then at that
Exactly.
time.
So you're not expressing that the verb is past tense, but that this happened in the
This
past.
happened in the past there. It's a hard concept because there's like 했던 versus 하던. These are maybe something that I would like to break down in the future. We'll maybe tackle those
Absolutely.
sorts of
One would be a singular instance, the other would be routine, I guess. right?
routine
So, yeah.
instant sort of thing. So these are all kind of concepts that when you really dive into the grammar, it's a slight nuance, but it gives you more context as to the situation. Did you eat this kimbap kind of as a regular thing, or was it just that one time that you
Exactly.
ate it? And so these are the things that Daniel and I will try to help clarify for you guys here during our advanced languages. But
Looking forward to it.
I got to say, Daniel, before we go, can you give one last reading of this
yes.
here from start to finish?
Absolutely. 그러게 잘하지 그랬어. 아니면 잘 좀 태어나든가.
Yes, knocked it out of the park. Look at you, Daniel. That is an Academy Award-winning performance.
As much contempt as I could muster, right? So,
Such a sweet person doing such a contemptful voice. I love it. Well, you knocked it out of the park.
thank you. Right.
And thank you so much for joining us today. I had such a blast.
Always a pleasure.